Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about something I'm pretty sure we all have experienced, and that is procrastination. It is something that I struggle with at times as well, but I've learned several techniques to use in order to deal with and avoid procrastinating when I should be working. I'm going to share these techniques in this video and I hope some of them can help you as well. My first tip isn't directly related to eliminating procrastination, but it is a very important step on the way, and that is to identify the reasons why you procrastinate. If you're gonna get better at doing things efficiently, you want to know which things distract you from doing just that. For most people, our phones are a big reason why we procrastinate, but it may also be other things such as fear of not succeeding, a messy environment, being overwhelmed, among other things. If you take time to write down why you procrastinate, you can deal with these things more easily later, so I would recommend starting by doing this. Next are some general tips that I use that help me avoid procrastinating. The first tip is to split large and difficult tasks into smaller and more manageable ones. If you feel overwhelmed and not quite sure how you're going to start a project, it is a greater chance that you'll avoid getting started entirely. Whenever I get a task that I know will be time-consuming, I identify the different parts of the task and write down a step-by-step plan for how I'm going to complete each of the smaller tasks and eventually the whole project. This next tip is related to the previous one, and that is to create a schedule for how you're going to work with a project. When I've split it into manageable tasks, what I usually do is that I create a plan for what I want to do each day until the project is completed. In my experience, I'm much less likely to procrastinate if I have a specific goal for each day, because I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do, and I also want to stay on track with my project by sticking to the plan that I've created. I did mention this tip in another video, but I feel like it's very useful in this case too, and that is to set the final deadline a few days earlier than you have to. This ensures that you have a bit of extra time in case something unexpected happens, as it most likely will when you work on a project for a long time. Another important tip is to start with the tasks that are most important and most time-consuming. When you have several tasks to do, it is tempting to start by completing the easiest ones first, but then in my experience, this may lead to me not starting the more difficult tasks at all. By focusing on the easy and less time-consuming tasks, you're sort of giving yourself a false sense of not procrastinating, while you are in fact avoiding the most important tasks, giving yourself less time to complete them. So a good idea could be to prioritize your tasks when writing them down, either by color coding or by using symbols. A simple tip that helps you get work done is to work for a set amount of time. It is definitely easier to get started if you know how long you'll be working for, and working for a small amount of time is much better than not working at all. It could also be helpful to work for the same amount of time every time you study, for example by using the Pomodoro method, which is 25 minutes of work followed by a 5-minute break. Taking timed breaks is also a way of eliminating procrastination, because you won't constantly postpone actually starting again if you already have set a time for when you're going to start. When it comes to using time management to deal with procrastination, another tip is to give yourself specific times for when you're allowed to do the activities that you usually do as a form of procrastination. For example, you could allow yourself to go on your phone for 15 minutes before starting work at a specific time, or you could, for example, treat yourself to 30 minutes of watching YouTube videos after you've worked for, say, 2 hours. In order to stay motivated, I think it's very important that we allow ourselves to take breaks to do the things we want to do, but in order to not let these breaks take over the time spent doing productive tasks, it's also important to set time limits. Finally, a way to beat procrastination is to keep yourself accountable. If you surround yourself with productive people and tell them what your goals are for a work or study session, you've set expectations and you're more likely to complete your goals, while at the same time being in a productive environment, so you hopefully also feel more motivated to work. If you prefer working on your own, you could, for example, post your study schedule on Instagram like lots of studygrammars do. You could send a message to a class friend or someone else, or you could simply write a note to yourself. The point is to give yourself expectations that you want to fulfill so that you'll work harder to get your tasks done with minimal procrastination. So these are the techniques that I use in order to avoid procrastinating. I hope at least some of them can be helpful for you too, and if you have any other techniques or tips of your own that you would like to share, then please feel free to do so in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video.